Titans Time, baby. I love this segment, especially off a bye week. I don't like it when we lose. I love it when we win. But that's what happens when you have the residential Titans fan here, Jackie Chism, of the Chism channel, to report on his segment again about the Titans. Luckily, we did have a bye week in week 13 this week, which is a late bye week for most teams and most seasons. But we needed it. To this point, the Titans have used more players in 12 games than any team has ever used in a 16-game season. We are the most hurt team by far in NFL history, and we're still 8-4. No Derrick Henry, no Julio Jones, no AJ Brown. Bud Dupree is on IR. Tierra Tart's been on IR, been hurt. We have no linebackers. Literally, we went into that Patriots game with 3 linebackers, and Monty Rice ended up on fucking IR at the end of the game. Like, we are hurt. We are one of the biggest hurt teams in the league, and I feel like if we can use this week to get healthy, at least get our linebackers, Rashawn Evans and David Long, back. We can use the time to get everybody's little nagging injuries hurt. Jaylen Brown can use that time to recover for almost 2 weeks to like heal up on whatever injuries have been hurting him and that held him out earlier in the season. That's still hindering it because it's obvious. I like the time we have to game plan for our running game. Get Nate Davis back. Get Crookshank back. He's big for us. Crookshank is a huge part. He can man up any tight end. And against the Patriots, that definitely showed. We let fucking Jonnu Smith go because we knew Crookshank could man him up. We're not giving $50 million for a fucking 4th round pick to man you up. He's fast, he's big, he's 6'1", 210 pounds. He's Madden, he's a 91 speed. He plays faster than that in real life. He's a guy that actually stuck with Travis Kelce. You think Jonnu Smith was going to get off on that game? No. He had his Patriots career day that day because J.R. Brown was guarding him and Monty Rice. I feel like KB definitely plays that like star position almost, that middle of the defense. He's almost like a sub linebacker almost. And he plays so well at that position with that sub linebacker, and that's only because you have three safeties that you can use every game with Crookshank, Hooker, and Byard. Byard loves Crookshank. He loves Hooker. He can rely on those guys back there, and he can play up front and up close towards the line like he needs to. He can diagnose plays and be right there where they want to go at. He can take away their initial reads off the back. He can take away their check downs right off the back. He creates turnovers everywhere. But you have to have people he can rely on in the backfield. So Crookshank coming back is going to be huge for Kevin Byard. Even though Kevin Byard had COVID, that was a perfect time to get COVID. It was on the bye week. You have 2 weeks to heal up, to get your breathing back, to try to get over it, and to try to get some conditioning back. Now, I am worried about his conditioning when it comes time to the game, but luckily it is the Jaguars. And we are not in a position, let's say this, we're not in a position to have any players missing. Because the one player we need when we play the Jaguars, we only need one. We don't need no offense, we don't need no special teams, we just need one offensive player. And that's Derrick Henry to play the Jags. He's not there. So can we continuously run the ball the way we usually do against the Jags? I feel like Hillard and Foreman are a really good pair. Only because our offensive line is really that good at run blocking. We're the best run blocking offensive line in the game. We just need to be healthy to run the fucking football. We don't need to be behind in games so that we have to pass 50 times like we did against the Texans. That leads to 4 interceptions. 50 chances for them to pick off a pass. You give me 50 chances, I'm going to get 4. If not, you shouldn't pay me $1 million. So, running the ball, getting check downs, going to our tight ends is going to be crucial in this game. Tannehill needs his weapons back. He's not going. He could have AJ back for this game, and if he does, great. He could also have Golden Tate for this game. If he does, great. Golden Tate, I'm not expecting much from him. I'm really not. If he can get 20 to 25 catches for a good 6 yards a catch, so we're talking 120 to 130 yards. So we're not talking about a lot of yards. We're just talking about, and maybe a touchdown. He has a great season ahead of him. We're talking in 5 games. Can he get 4 or 5 catches a game? 4 or 5 catches. And we're not asking for a lot. We're just asking for 4 or 5 to 6 yard catches. Hey, know the situation, know the playbook, get the first down. That's what Tennessee needs. We are shit on third down because Ferguson's not there. Ferguson's been our guy for the last 2 years on third down, and he is not showing up. He's dealing with some injuries, like everybody else on this team. So we have to have other places to go. We cannot keep checking it down to fucking Jeremy Mcnichols all fucking game. That's how you lose. Jeremy Mcnichols is back, but I actually don't like him more than I like Foreman and Hillard, though. Hillard is fast, so that gives a different dynamic. Foreman's big, so that's a different dynamic. Jeremy Mcnichols was a great college player. He's a great team player, great practice player. He knows the playbook. He knows the checkdowns. He knows the blocking scheme. He knows everything you need to know. He was a great player at Boise State, and you know I'm a fan of Boise State, especially since I love anything blue, two-tone, and they got a blue field. So look for them to have look for Tennessee to get some offensive premises back. Now it always does reflect back on the coaching staff. Our coaching staff did everything they were supposed to do against the Patriots. That was the best coach game I've seen the Titans have all season. Execution was the problem. Now, you're relying on practice players and players that weren't on no team at the beginning of the year. No team wanted fucking Hillard or fucking Foreman at the beginning of this year. No team wanted them. So, for us to rely on them in crucial times and never to fumble but still have 100 yards, amazing. So, for us to rely on them and still have 100 yards apiece was an amazing game. The turnovers did change the impact of the game, but that's what happens when you have practice players on the field. Now, does AJ go up and snag that, or Julio goes up and snag that in the red zone instead of throwing it to Cody Hollister? You're damn right. Cody Hollister got knocked out of the game already, but we only had 3 wide receivers, so we had to put him back in the game. Nobody's talking about that beforehand. He got knocked out of the game, and then you wanted to throw a touchdown to him. So, we definitely need to take this time to get healthy. AJ and Bud Dupree should be back by the 49ers game. Look for Derek to be back by the end of the season. Hopefully we can get that. Hopefully we can win a playoff game. I feel like Derek was in the top shape of his life. He still finished that game on that foot injury, and hopefully that didn't do extra damage to it, so that he would be able to be back for that Houston game. And if he's back for that Houston game, look for him to get the 15 to 20 touches on that game. He's going to get 4 or 5 carries in every fucking quarter, and he's going to get himself back and right, and he's going to get right. So I love the way Tennessee's going right now. I love that our bye week was late in the year. I love that our schedule remaining is so bad, in which I'm going to go over right now. Actually, all right. So we got, again, like I said, we got week 14 coming up. We do have the Jags. Then we have the 40. Then we have the Steelers. I'm sorry. Then we have the Steelers. Then we have the 49ers, the Dolphins, and then Texans again. So look for the Titans with our superstars back, with AJ, Julio, with Bud Dupree, with majority of minus Derrick Henry back, look for us to actually go 4-1 in those games. I can't tell you which one, but it's either the Dolphins, Steelers, or 49ers. One of those games is not going to be ours. Now, I'm going to take that back. The 49ers are going to win that game. And it's on Thursday night at 7:30 in front of the entire world against a banged-up fucking 49ers team. The Titans play their best when the lights are bright and everybody counts them out. The 49ers are not there, and we're going to blow them the fuck out. Watch that. But the Dolphins and the Steelers games, those are two to watch. Without our fucking superstars, if AJ's not back and he's not right, if Julio's not back and he's not right, then look for us to lose one of those two games. Look for both of those two games, actually. So we could end up 4-1 or 3-2. I'm not sure which one we're going to lose, with or without those superstars. That's just how the Titans play. So I'm looking forward to a 12-5 record for the Titans this year. That's not going to give us the bye record. It's not going to give us the bye week, but it will give us at least some close to home field advantage for the playoffs. Now, we should win our division, and we should at least get home field advantage. With home field advantage in the playoffs, I don't like it for the Titans. Titans only play great when they're underdogs. So I don't know how they're going to play, but if we get if Derrick Henry's back for that game, look for us to be inspired. Derrick had foot surgery a couple weeks ago, and he was supposed to be out for 10 weeks. So look for the team to be inspired. Look for those running backs to be inspired. Look for Tannehill and those wide receivers to be inspired. Let's not use AJ. AJ is gonna step up. Julio's gonna step up. Let's not use Derrick. Give me the ball. That's how the Titans. That's where the Titans are the best at. So I'm excited about this season. We got 5 games left going into the playoffs. I know we're a playoff team. So let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Now, right now, I definitely want to talk about some of the way too early awards for the Titans. And we got plenty of way too early awards for the Titans as well. So I definitely want to talk about our Offensive Player of the Year, the Defensive Player of the Year, our Rookie of the Year, and who I feel like should be a Pro Bowler this year. Now let's start off with our Offensive Player of the Year. It would be Tannehill if it wasn't for the picks. Seriously. If Tannehill could have thrown the ball away a few more times, thrown the ball in the dirt a few more times, he hands down would be the MVP this year. Nobody's been bigger for the Titans than Tannehill when Derrick Henry was out. But that's when Derrick Henry was out. And we are a different team when Derrick Henry's out. So King is still the Offensive Player of the Year. King is still the best player on this team. King is always going to be the number one guy until he shows otherwise. Now, we turn to the Defensive Player of the Year. I think that it's consensus. It's Kevin Byard. I mean, how many games does he have to wreck? How many sacks do you have to have? How many interceptions do you have to have? How many fumble recoveries do you have to have? And fumble calls do you have to have? Like, how many times do you need to score for us to give him this man his fucking props? The mayor of Murfreesboro is for real. He was an All-Pro a couple of years ago, and he's playing back at that level again. They gave him a contract. He was comfortable. He was hurt. He knows where he was last few years. And he's back. Now, if you can get over that COVID, that's going to be the biggest thing. Because COVID is not playing with nobody. Lamar Jackson had a hard time returning from COVID when he got it. I mean, everybody will have a hard time. It's a respiratory disease, and you're playing a sport that runs a lot. So, I still think that Kevin Byard's done enough to be the Defensive Player of the Year for the Titans. Jeff Simmons is a big second though. Big second. Like if Kevin Byard were to miss a couple games, Big Jeff is a player of the year. Seriously. Now I want to definitely talk about our rookie of the year, and it's a hard one for me. It's a really hard one for me. Because Caleb Farley looks like an all-world beater. There's times where he didn't play in the preseason. He didn't play much in preseason. He didn't play much in the training camp. He didn't play much in the regular season. But when he was in there, he showed flashes. He shut down Mike Evans. He's big, he's fast, he can jump, he can run, he can cover. That man is great. Titans, that's a great pick. I know he's injured, but that is still like our top cornerback for the next 10 years. And he's going to be a good one too. Even if he drops off in speed and athleticism in the next 10 years, he's still Patrick Peterson. He's still Patrick Peterson. And I mean like Patrick Peterson 5 years ago. So, like, Caleb Farley, shouts out, bro. I can't wait to watch you play next year. I can't wait to watch you play next year. Now, I definitely think that now Molden has been there. He's been in every game. Even though he was in a doghouse earlier against the Houston Texans, he played amazingly. He had some good snaps against the Patriots. He had some really good snaps in every game he's played against. And every week you see he's getting better and better and better. He's getting more feisty. He's getting his coverages like more sticky. He's hitting people harder as the season goes along. He's getting more comfortable with our defense. Like Elijah Molden is our is our rookie of the year, defensive or offensive. No matter what you say, Elijah Molden's it. He's been playing great football compared to all the rest of our rookies. Now, we didn't ask him much for the rest of our rookies. Brady Breeze and Racy McMath has been hurt. Brady Breeze has been hurt. Monty Rice has played really well until he got hurt last week. Dylan Radons has not played at all. So I think that it's hands down. It has to be Molden for a rookie of the year for the Titans. Shouts out to you, bro. I love watching you play. He's the second coming of Cortland Finnegan. He just needs to realize it. Now I definitely want to talk about our Pro Bowlers as well, who I feel like should be a Pro Bowler. And there's three names that definitely come off the page quick as hell for me. Big Jeff Simmons, he's definitely a Pro Bowler. Harold Landry's leading the team in sacks this year. He's definitely a Pro Bowler with 10 plus sacks. He's going to end the season with 10 plus sacks this year. And Kevin Byard, not only is he a Pro Bowler, but he's our guy that should be all Pro this year. Jeff Simmons should be all Pro as well because he just wrecks games. He just ends fucking shit. He ended that Bills game. He ended that fucking Rams game. I know KB had a pick six in that one, but like Big Jeff was all over Matt Stafford that whole game. He does that. He just does that. When he gets out his own way. He's the next best thing since Aaron Donald in the middle of your defensive line. And now I definitely think that the Titans are going to play the Jags this week and definitely going to surprise some people. I think we're going to get back on our winning ways. We're a 10-point underdog. So later in the episode in the week, we're going to talk about more of the matchups and things of that nature. But I like how the Titans are going back into this game as well. So watch the Titans plus 10 against the Jags this weekend. All right, guys, that's another Titans time. When we come back, I'm definitely going to go over Vegas, baby. We're going to go into our good, the bad, and the ugly, and we're going to also talk about some primetime lines in the NBA. Let's get it.